Good day, everyone. I am Cyril Dayag, and together with me is Miss Christy Marie Grafalda. We will be discussing about the emerging technologies and information technology infrastructures, or what we call the IT infrastructure. So, technology powers nearly every aspect of business today, and from an individual employee's work to operations of goods and services. And when properly networked, technology can be optimized to improve communications, create create efficiencies, and of course increase productivity. So first, we define what is IT infrastructure. It is made up of a collection of hardware and software progress needed to run the complete business. Infrastructure allows an organization to deliver IT solutions and services to its employees, partners, and or customers, and is usually internal to an organization and deployed within own facilities. So the cornerstone for a company's ability to serve consumers, collaborate with partners, and oversee internal business operations is the IT infrastructure. IT infrastructure is also called the technology infrastructure. It allows also the organization to deliver IT solutions and services to its employees, partners, and customers. And of course, if an organization can achieve its goals and gain a competitive edge in the market if its IT infrastructure is adaptable, dependable, and also secure. However, if it is not deployed correctly or properly, firms may experience connection, productivity, and security problems, and such as the outage and breaches. IT infrastructure have is also a collection of corporate worldwide services such as the platforms like enterprise resource planning, customer relationship management, supply chain management, and the knowledge management system that are shared by all company units. These which create and oversee the physical setups necessary for data management, telecommunications, and computer services. We also have the IT's management services that include infrastructure planning, development, business unit coordination for IT services, and accounting management for IT expenditure, and of course, the project management services. Next, we have the standard or the IT standard services that give the company and its business units guidelines on how, when, and with which information technology will be employed. Next, we have the IT education services that train staff members on how to use systems and instruct managers on how to prepare for and manage IT investments. And lastly, we have the IT research and development services that give the business information on potential IT investment and projects that could help it stand out in the market. Now we go to the evolution of IT infrastructure. First is the general purpose mainframe and the mini computer era. It began in 1959 to present with the release of the IBM 1401 and 790 transistorized machines. With the release of the IBM 360 series in 1965, the mainframe computer fully came of age. In this era, the computers were controlled by system operators and professional programmers with the support of uh, a single vendor or the manufacturer of the hardware or software. Mainframes were the first powerful computers that could provide time sharing, multitasking, and virtual memory, and became the powerful. It became powerful enough to support thousands of remote terminals. The mainframe era was a period of the highly centralized controlled by programmers and the operators. Eventually, this mainframe pattern began to change by reason of introducing by the or the Digital Equipment Corporation in 1965 the mini computers, wherein the mini computers are the powerful yet less expensive computers kasi mahal si mainframe. Uh, so since less expensive, mas tinangkilik din si mini computers. It began to change this pattern, allowing decentralized computing customizable to individual departments or the business units. Actually, ngayon, the mainframes are being, I think, still being used by the big companies. Next, we have the personal computer era, wherein it began in 1981 to present. The IBM PC in 1981 was considered as the beginning of the personal computer era by the reason of wide usage in American businesses. So ito na yung mga computers natin ngayon. So in the beginning, the personal computers used the disk operator system or what we call the DOS and a text-based command language. And later, the Microsoft Windows operating system and Intel microprocessor became the standard personal computer. As a percentage, 90% of computers run Windows system or Windows operating system, while the 10% is being run by Macintosh operating system. So ito yung sa Mac po natin. Next, we have the client server era. It began in 1983 to present. In the client server computing, desktop or laptop computers known as clients are connected to powerful server machine across a network and receive a variety of service and functionality from server. So, from the server to the computer na mismo. So, these two devices manage a distinct these two devices manage a distinct or computer processing. The client serves as the user's entry point, whereas the server manages the networks, processes shared data, stores it, and serves up websites. Today, server computers are more powerful rather than personal computers. Usually, the server computers are driven by inexpensive chips, multi processors, or multiple processors in a single computer casing or in a server racks. Next, we also have the enterprise computing era. It began in 1992 to present. Later, in 1995, the internet has developed into the next level as a trusted communication environment. Because of this development, the organizations began to use internet protocol or the transmission control protocol or what we call the IP or the TCP networking standards heavily to combine their networks together. So as you can see, the clients, the internet, the web server. So yan po. The final result of this development is the IT infrastructure links small networks and a variety of computer hardware into an enterprise wide network. Therefore, the information will able to flow freely through the organization and with other organizations also. So ito na po yung link with the organization and to the other organization. It can link various types of computers, hardware, or the computer hardware, including mainframes, personal computers, servers, mobile devices, and also includes public infrastructures. And lastly, we have the cloud and mobile computing era. It began in 2000 to present. The fast development of the internet has pushed the client's or server model into the next step, which is called the cloud computing model. So, ito na po yung mga ginagamit natin ngayon na the Google Drive, the cloud, no? So, ayan po, where we store the big files usually. So, anyone can anyone, kung sino po yung inallow natin to access it, can access it anywhere. So next, we have the technology drivers of infrastructure. First is the Moore's law and microprocessing power. In the Moore's law, it states that the microprocessing power doubles in every 2 years. Variation of this law assert that microprocessing power doubles in every 18 months, computer power doubles in every 18 months, and the price of the computing falls by half in every 18. The microprocessor chips using transistors have helped increase computing power exponentially. At the same time, packing more transistors into less space has driven down transistor costs dramatically, as well as the cost of the products in which they are used. The nanotechnology uses individual atoms and molecules to create computer chips thousands of times smaller than current technology permit. So kung si microprocessor, si nanotechnology, lalo pa niyang mas nagpo-produce pa siya ng more. So si nanotechnology is mas pinapabilis niya yung processor natin, because it creates computer chips thousand of times. So next we have the law of mass digital store. The law of mass digital storage states that while the amount of digital information produced worldwide doubles every year, the cost of storing digital information is falling at an exponential rate. So, while the amount of digital information produced world doubles every year, the cost of the storing digital information is falling at an exponential rate. In early evolution of computing, storage needs were based on written text. Now we need the extra storage for photos, music, and video. From 1980 to 1990, the hard drive capacities for PCs grew at the rate of 25% annual compound growth, but after 1990, growth accelerated to more than 65% each year. Kasi 'di ba, mas kailangan habang tumatagal yung mga tao, kinakailangan nila ng mas madaming storage, or storage na data storage para i-store yung mga files. Next, we have Next, we have the declining communication costs and the internet. The significant decrease in communication costs and the exponential increase in internet size are the four technology factors reshaping IT infrastructure. So as you can see sa graph, as years goes by, habang tumataas, yung cost per kilobit bumababa habang tumatagal. So one reason for the growth in the internet population is the rapid decline in internet connection and overall communication costs. As costs fall toward a very small number and approach zero, utilization of communications and computing facilities explodes. As more and more users connect to the internet, businesses must find ways on how to meet the expectation and demands of users, especially in the area of mobile computing devices. So habang tumatagal kasi, or habang mas dumadami yung users natin, we need more internet connection na mas mabilis, 'di ba? So there. And lastly, we have the standard and network effects. Technology standards specifications that establish the compatibility of products and the ability to communicate in a network unleash powerful economies of scale and result in price declines as manufacturers focus on products built to a certain standards. So, some of the important standards that have shaped IT infrastructure include ASCII, the Unix, the TCP or IP, the Ethernet, the IBM Microsoft Intel personal computer, and the World Wide Web. So that's all for my report. So next topic will be discussed by Miss Grefalda, which is the IT
Thank you,
infrastructure
Ms. Cyril.
components.
Good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
Dean Abante. Good
IT
afternoon,
infrastructure
classmates. I am
components.
Christy Marie
Thank
L.
you.
Grifalda, and I will be
IT
discussing
infrastructure
about the
components.
continuation of
Thank
our
you.
report, the
IT
IT infrastructure
infrastructure
components and the
components. Thank
contemporary
you.
hardware platform
IT
trends.
infrastructure components.
As
Thank
what
you.
have as what
IT
have Ms. Cyril
infrastructure
discussed,
components.
IT
Thank you.
infrastructure refers to
IT
the components
infrastructure
required to
components.
operate
Thank
and
you.
manage IT
IT
environment.
infrastructure
It can be
components.
deployed in the
Thank
cloud
you.
or within an
IT infrastructure
organization's own
components.
facilities.
Thank you.
A well-designed
IT
IT
infrastructure
infrastructure assists
components.
companies
Thank you.
in meeting their
IT
objectives while
infrastructure components.
potentially
Thank you.
maximizing profits.
IT infrastructure.
The diagram shows the IT infrastructure ecosystem and its components. We will be discussing each components briefly as we go on to the next slides. The first component is computer hardware platforms. It is a set of compatible hardware on which software applications can be run. These are the computer and server machines in the networks. Examples are desktops, PC, laptops, servers such as Blade servers, IBM mainframes, and chips such as Intel and AMD. The next component is the operating system platform. An operating system is a software that manages the functioning of all other applications after being loaded on the computer, and it acts as the interface for the user. OS platforms includes Windows, Mac OS, Unix, and Linux. The third component is the enterprise software applications. Enterprise applications is a large-scale software that helps solve the problems of the entire organization. It is a computer software used by organizations rather than individual users. Example include SAP, Oracle, and IBM. Next is data management and storage. Data management is handled by software and stores in storage devices. It is an infrastructure used to provide data management and enforce data management policies. Database software includes IBM, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server. Storage includes physical data storages such as Seagate and cloud storage, which store data in third party servers. The fifth component is networking and telecommunications platform. Networking platforms includes Windows Server OS, Linux, and Unix among others. Telecommunication platforms are provided by telecommunication service companies that provide data connectivity, internet access, voice, and wired area network. Internet platforms relates to and sometimes overlap with network infrastructure and hardware and software platforms. It includes hardware, software, and administration services needed to operate the company website, such as routers, cabling, wireless, and web hosting services. It also includes internet hardware servers such as IBM, Dell, Oracle, among others. The last component is consulting and system integration services. It is used to integrate the legacy system with modern infrastructure. Software integration is ensuring that new technology work with the old ones. Overall, a stable, robust, and well-planned IT infrastructure is critical to the success of an organization. Strategic infrastructure management is critical, and prudent investment in IT infrastructure may mean the difference between success and failure of a company. Our next topic is all about the contemporary hardware platform trends. Due to the rapid advancement of networking and computing hardware, more computing power is now being shared among networks and portable handheld devices. Following are some of examples. Our first example is mobile digital platform. Mobile digital platform is a replacement for desktop and laptop computers. It is a quick starting, lightweight app wherein users can view their digital cards quickly and securely thanks to the application's user friendly design. When there is no internet connection, the user can view the digital card and contents in offline mode. Next is the BYOD or Bring Your Own Device. It is the act of allowing workers to use their own mobile device at work. It is becoming more well liked because it is simple to use and contains a wide range of beneficial applications. Our third example is consumerization of IT. It is the cycle of technology that begins in the consumer market and then spread to business and governments. Consumer markets are the first to adopt new information technology, which then spreads to business organizations. Consumerization of IT forces business and IT departments to reconsider how they acquire and manage IT equipment and services. Grid computing is a computing infrastructure that pulls computer resources from various geographical locations to achieve a common goal. It entails connecting geographically separated computers into a single network. Next is virtualization. It is a collection of computing resources that are made available through the virtualization process, enabling universal access regardless of physical configuration or location. To simulate hardware functionality and build a virtual computing system, it depends on software. Computing utilizes a pool of virtualized resources to provide network based computer processing, storage, software, and other services. Instead of a local server or a personal computer, it is the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on internet to store, manage, and process data. Although it enables businesses to cut back on IT spending, it raises questions about security and dependability. There are various characteristics of cloud computing. Number one, it is on demand self service, wherein customers can obtain computing capabilities on their own as needed. Number two, it is ubiquitous network access. A standard network and internet devices can be used to access cloud resources. Number three, location independent resource pooling. Computing resources are pooled to serve multiple users, and different virtual resources are assigned dynamically based on user demands. Number four, rapid elasticity. To meet changing user demand, computing resources can be rapidly provisioned, increased, or decreased. Number five, measured service. Cloud resource changes are based on amount of resources actually used. There are three different types of services of cloud computing. Number one, cloud infrastructure as a service, wherein customers use providers processing, storage, networking, and other computing resources to run their information system. The best example is the Amazon, which uses the spare capacity of its IT infrastructure to provide a broadly based cloud environment, selling IT infrastructure services. Number two, cloud platform as a service. Customers create their own application using infrastructure and programming tools provided by the cloud service provider. And last, cloud software as a service, wherein customers use software that is hosted by the vendor and delivered over a network. Example is the Google Apps, which provides common businesses applications online. The next trend is quantum computing. Quantum computing is a multidisciplinary field encompassing elements of mathematics, physics, and computer science that makes use of quantum mechanics to resolve complex issues more quickly than with the conventional computers. The speed of computation is dramatically increased. Next trend is green computing, wherein the efficient and earth-friendly use of computers and the resources they contain. Power consumption reduction is one of its top priorities. So, the current trend and innovation in hardware platforms benefits both the company and its clients. The company needs easy access to data and other information so that it can provide better services to its customers. As a result of this, the expression information is right in our hands is true both metaphorically and literally. So that would be all for our report. Thank you for listening and we hope you learned something new.